What's going on there, Dick Skinner and Brad's Workbench? Sorry, I hit live and wasn't sure if it was really live or not. Yeah, sign's back up, little crooked just like before. So I can get all that Work Pro money. Free advertising for them. Patriot in the Dark, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. What new tools did I get? Here, you were talking about them tonight there, Brad. They got let's see if I can find a different one. They got that tip. I don't know if you can see it. Good to hear it there, Patriot in the Dark. Almost got that tip. Just the tip. Got that, and then there's this bundle pack of Southwire tools. I think it was like $30. Not too bad. I'm gonna try these out, test them. Real handy for at home. The only thing is this doesn't have a GFI tester on it. Joe Smith is coming back this weekend, if you guys are familiar with Joe Smith. Just a tip, yeah. It's a fun fucking game, especially if you have a partner. What's going on there, Beer Studley? Yeah, no GFI test button, but you know, I mean, for the price, it's not too shabby. I also gonna be testing out this bad boy soon. Yeah, I've been getting into Southwire a little bit. There's a bunch of people on the YouTubes that talk about them, and what I've gotten so far has been real decent. Couldn't sleep, so figured I'd hop on a live. Brad's Workbench did a live stream tonight. Like a champ. So, what's everyone drinking tonight? You mean like that there, Brad? Mountain Dew. I wish I had a Dew right now. Or a Surge. Corona. I gotta tell you, I mean, these are pretty nice. They're comfortable. It's weird to say about a screwdriver, but I don't know. Oh man, does anyone else use Makita products? On the Vera, Brad, the handle feels small. Yeah, I could see that. It's kind of thin. Like it's thin, thick, then thin, and it just keeps going down. That's why I kind of like the Stanley ones. It's got like a nice, you know, end to it. I'll tell you what not to buy. What's going on, junk? This is a fucking turd. I actually did a video on it. Yeah, you can't beat Klein. This fucking thing sucks. I know that's fine, but listen to the ratchet doesn't even ratchet. It's all crunchy and it's just stupid. I think it's like $20 too. It's not worth it at all. Junk in the trunk. Well, my idea was I have a little Work Pro stubby, and it does awesome for like the pedestal sinks in a pinch when I don't have my ratchet or my cordless ratchet. So I was thinking with the flex head, you could even get up under there and, give it a little better of a twist. But it's just it's a piece of poo. It's $25 too. No, my bad, 20. I think Great Star Tools makes some of the Husky shit for sure. They have the exact same ratcheting screwdriver as my Work Pro at Home Depot. Same thing. But it's all blacked out. Also got this. I've had this for a while. It's It's an insulated screwdriver, but you got tips in the end. I thought it was a cool idea. Like it could be like my one, just keep it in my bag. But you see how thick the end is? It gets in the way. I mean, it's nice to have in a pinch, but is that the Work Pro black coated tools, the flex head ratchets? Stanley has the black chrome. Yeah, that Great Star tool. I'm convinced they make like 60% of the hand tools by every company. The more I look into it, the more I see it. Hey, Junk, did you get lucky tonight? Yes, they do make cobalt. We had a fully insulated wheel ratchet at the plant. Yeah, they make They make what's going on, Client Graphics? If anybody wants to hop on with me, just let me know. I'll send you a link. This I've been using a bit of the long Husky 3 Ace, and I gotta tell you, man, I really like it. I never really had a ratchet with that much leverage. Like I have this Stanley. What's going on, Tools and Trash? How's it going? This Stanley's pretty cool. I think Client Graphics, I saw it in your video, and I can't remember if I commented on that video. I meant to. But it's a locking flex head. You know, you can lock it wherever you want with that pin. I'm actually going to be sending this out to Everyday Fleet Tech. He's actually going to give it a he's going to give it a whirl at work for me. Yeah, man. It's kind of gimmicky, but you know, it's not too bad. Budget Tools. Yeah, Tools and Trash, man. He has a great channel going. Super fun of him to join us last night on the live stream, too. All right, client. Let me see here. I think I got it sent out there, buddy. Guess I'll need to put these on too. What, this saved you on your brakes? There's something about ratchets that's fascinating, isn't there? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Budget Tools. When are your icon videos coming out? I want to get some right there, Hoss. I want to get some opinions there. On the 4th, all good Tools and Trash. We'll definitely have you on again for sure. I was really glad you came on though last night. That was a fun time. And Mike's Tool Shed hopping on also. That was a treat. I was very happy to I didn't think that would happen. Then he starts putting videos out. If you guys haven't don't know, I'm a fan of Mike's Tool Shed. Just a little bit. Kingpin, thank you, man. Joe Smith, by the way, is making his YouTube return tomorrow night. So expect him. You all up and ready there, sir?
I believe so.
On this junky StreamYard?
Hey, we'll try it out anytime, brother.
How's it going?
It's not too bad. Yeah, I still need you to send me your address so that I can send you some of that Ryobi blue stuff from back in the days with the NiCad battery.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I know you need an extra angle grinder like a hole in the head.
Yeah, man, they're like tractors. You just keep the attachments on them and grab them and go.
Well, when you have the battery and the capabilities and the depth of that line, just keep running them.
I like the Tecton sign. I didn't know. I don't think I've ever seen it, or I probably have, but
I haven't. You and I were in another live stream before this with Just Wrench It, and you were asking if I was going live, and I'm like, yeah, I got to talk about some things, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to get a banner up. I got to pull the maintenance man with the Work Pro.
Yeah.
Couldn't get one of those, but for like $20, you can get one of these from Tecton.
Well, Tecton makes some good stuff. I mean,
they're not bad. I can't complain. I want to break some, and then I'll really tell you how good they are. I can tell you that I've had some running for years and haven't had any problems with it unless I, purposely abused it. But that goes for a lot of things too.
Yeah. And, well, I got into them basically from their sockets on Amazon.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the impact sockets for the price, and it's just hard to beat.
Well, I looked at the impact sockets and I'm like, Justin Dow hasn't really tried anything from Tecton, although he likes to call it his Tecatone. wait, we gotta get that Tecatone.
Tecatone.
I love that. Just so much energy, and it was like, I gotta get something that I know he's not going to break for sure. And those impact sockets are something that are robust enough that I think pretty much anybody that wants to save some money that doesn't have a Harbor Freight close to them should go pick up some of those Tecton impact sockets because they're bang for their buck, and so are the Harbor Freight ones.
Well, yeah, that's definitely true, and I think also because you've done a little bit, just slightly with this Icon stuff.
No, what's Icon?
Yeah, just a little bit, but I think it was funny because Tecton was like huge on YouTube right before his Icon hit, and then it's like everyone forgets about it.
Nah, see, I wasn't really forgetting about it, but I
No, I mean like viewers. Like, I mean, it's like their whole attention got turned,
Well, I mean, we like shiny things. That's why, all the stuff they're pitching us is chrome stuff right now. They've yet to show us any impact stuff other than maybe some of the pictures that you see. But, like when you look at the 1/4-inch drive set from Snap-on, do you know how much that runs you with the little red box that you get like 40, 50 some sockets and a ratchet and a couple extensions?
Thousands of dollars?
It's hundreds. I mean, it's
hundreds.
It's like, you might be able to pick it up used for like $300-400. I think new it's like $600 or $700. When you can go and get a Tecton set with 55 pieces, including the ratchet, for $55, I mean, it's pretty hard to say, let's not try it. I mean, it's like trying to go to Walmart and not buy anything when you go in there.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It just doesn't happen. It's like a week that the maintenance man doesn't do a live stream. It just doesn't happen in 2019.
Well, I took 2 weeks off. Technically.
Yep. But you didn't technically pull any of your old live streams, so you could still watch them.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I did have a question for you because, in the chats, it's kind of hard to have full conversations. But so the Pittsburgh Pro breaker bar and the Icon, pretty similar in in strength.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, oh, wait. There's an unbroken Pittsburgh Professional breaker bar, as well as an unbroken Icon breaker bar, because, you know, they warranty their shit out and they do a great job with it. And it's no questions asked. And they're like, so it's pretty funny. So I'm pretty much the first person that's ever warranted any Icon stuff that I know of at any of the 1,000 plus Harbor Freight stores. And I'm not trying to pitch Harbor Freight here at all, because I have so much stuff. I mean, even like this is a PT, so that's performance tools. You can get that at O'Reilly's or on Amazon. I just have so many tools that, you know, the brands are so deep, but I'm at Harbor Freight all the time. Just like, you know, you like Stanley, you like Ryobi, you like Milwaukee. That's what we're talking about right now. But they literally got on the phone and they're like, Chris is here. He's trying to warranty some Icon stuff. How do we do this again? And I'm like, did you have to say my name? Yes, they did. And so, yeah. So needless to say, the warranty on like the physical wrenches and things of that nature, they're doing like or similar tool. I don't know why they say like or similar tool, because they don't have any other Icon tools out there yet to proceed what they have. But basically, they just swap it out of the package if they have it in stock. So, I mean, you really can't beat that. It's just like the Pittsburgh Pro, except for maybe it costs a little bit more money, but hopefully you get a little bit better tool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, time will tell on that. We can't, you know.
I mean, I can tell you there's less flex in it. I can tell you it's cheaper than Snap-on. I can tell you it's cheaper than Matco. But it's, you know, it's relative. I also thought my gear wrench one was going to hold up stronger than what it did, and it came out being the weakest one. But weak is really relative when you look at it and say, okay, what's ANSI spec? Well, ANSI spec on a 19 to 24 millimeter 3/8 inch drive socket is 183 foot-pounds, which is like 249 Newton meters. So, I mean, anything over 200 foot-pounds is a wash, because you shouldn't be using that tool for what you're doing.
Right.
And the 3/8 inch breaker bar, so like the ANSI spec for this pivot is like 100 foot-pounds, believe it or not. That's on the American Mechanical whatever Institute for whatever, I don't know. The AMSE spec on it is 100 foot-pounds. I just picked up their latest publication, and so I was reading that. And
getting well versed in ratchet.
Just getting more up to date on it. We'll say that much.
What the hell else was I gonna ask you real quick? All right, so you said something about warranty too. We were talking earlier on the sockets. Is gonna be changing?
Yeah, so the warranty, what they had on the sockets was this: if you broke it, had any issues with it, you were supposed to do like a phone or mail-in service where you call them and maybe send them a picture, who knows what exactly, because again, they haven't fully launched everything, although some stores are starting to have it. But that's what was going to be, you know, they had some of that canned verbiage of, you know, industry standard is moving to blah, blah, blah. You call us and then we'll mail out your stuff, and you'll wait 2 to 5 business days and you'll have your shit. Well, that's kind of like what Stanley does. I don't know if you've ever used Stanley's warranty.
No, but Brad's Workbench just warranted out ratchet, took a picture, and had a new one in a couple of days.
Yeah, which is surprising, because like 2 years ago or even 5 years ago, you literally just called up Stanley and they're like, okay, we'll send you one out.
Really?
Yeah, no joke. Like, you literally just called them up. You go, okay, well, the part number is, and they're like, yeah, we don't make that anymore. And you're like, okay, well, this is what it is. And they're like, oh yeah, it crosses over to this. It's the same thing that they do for DeWalt, because they own DeWalt. That's what they would do for their DeWalt hand tools as well. It's literally that, no haggle, no proof of ownership, whatever. And there you go. You're on your way.
Have you ever used any of the DeWalt like ratchets and stuff, sockets?
Yeah, I actually, sorry, there's a stupid fly going around the garage here. I actually have a video in the works where I torture test the fixed pair head quarter, 3/8, and even the 1/2-inch drive monster from DeWalt. And lo and behold, that bad boy holds up to like 640 foot-pounds before it slips some teeth. But to date, the DeWalt fixed head fully chrome is some of the strongest stuff that I've tested out.
I would never actually expected that.
I want to say that the fixed head 3/8 pushed like 278 or something like that before it snapped off, which is similar to the breaker bars that I tested this weekend, which we were like, well, a ratchet's not supposed to be as strong as a breaker bar, but I mean, they were pretty freaking strong.
I might get too deep here, but like, do you know who actually manufactures? Like, is that DeWalt rebranded? I see that fly.
Yeah, my wife is supposed to find the fly swatter to help a brother out or husband out, but hasn't worked yet. So who rebans DeWalt or what?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is like that same ratchet. Have you seen it rebranded by any other company? Like, or is it just DeWalt specific?
The DeWalt, yeah, I haven't seen it rebranded anywhere else, but it's just a standard 72 tooth, which in my mind, for 95% of everything that you're doing these days, 5-degree arc seeing is enough. And the teeth are strong enough, but yet not fine enough that you're not going to slip the teeth before you break the anvil off, which I was really surprised because on the 1/2-inch drive one, I did not break the anvil off. I slipped the teeth.
Really?
Yeah. Which I would expect to do that on like the Pittsburgh Professional one, similar like I did for the 3/8. But yeah, it was not the case. The 1/2-inch slipped the teeth, 3/8 broke the anvil, and same with the 1/4-inch. But they were really, really strong. It was the $99 cost set that you could pick up.
Damn. My Home Depot, and I don't know where else they sell DeWalt, maybe Ace Hardware or something, but I've never seen the ratchets in a store.
I have a tool supply company that sells individuals of all of the DeWalt stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's probably why I would say, there's a lot of different tools you could buy starting out. I really liked it, and I wish more people would have watched your budget homeowner kind of DIYer tools, because those are the things that there's a lot of people out there that are DIYers or want to be, and they just are simply not educated or smart enough.
Yeah, to figure out like what tool they need next.
Yeah. So like, I can't stress enough that like when I was like 15 and 16 and whatever in high school, between chase and tail and flipping burgers and making pizzas and whatnot, I was making more money fixing other people's cars that were my age, because they couldn't afford to go to a mechanic, but they had enough money that they could afford me at 50% of what a dealership or somebody else would charge. And I made money off of it because it was straight up, and they saved money.
Right.
And they're your age and they go to school with you, and they're like, yeah, it'll take me 3 or 4 days. And they're like, You'd be like, well, my car works. I'll pick you up. I'll take you to school. And so you figured out the ride situation, and you made money. You bought more tools, and that's kind of how I started out with that. Actually, I didn't buy my own tools. I used my dad's.
That's a hell of a service there, man.
Yeah.
Fix your shit and drive you.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to make money. When you're 16, you're just a little hustler. I mean, not everybody did that, but I mean, I like to say I was always a entrepreneur trying to figure out how to make a buck.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people try, but
some people just don't try hard enough.
Are you reliving your glory days?
I got a snort out of me.
Hi.
Hello.
I found the fly spotter.
Yay!
She's bonus there.
She's awesome. Yeah, I got my wife and I got a fly swatter out of the deal.
Hey.
Well, I figured I had to go live too because the Huskers are sucking it up against Ohio State, which I figured they were going to do that because Ohio State is way better than the Huskers this year. And yeah, it was like 41-0 or something in the third quarter. It was.
We did score.
Oh, yay, we did score. That's what she said.
There you go. Is so you're big on college football then, huh?
I'm just a Husker fan.
You can't not if you live in Nebraska, like you can't not support them. It's all we have. So
yeah, we have no pro teams.
Yeah.
Of any sort. And what minor or we don't even really have any minor leagues.
We have hockey. We have baseball. We have hockey.
Yeah, but it's not like a minor league even. It's like
I figured there'd be baseball fields everywhere.
Well, we do have baseball fields, but they're like so far down the list that they're not even like semi-pro. They're not even the minor leagues. They're like
independent.
Yeah.
They have
pretty
them,
much.
But if you live in Nebraska, the boys want to grow up to play football for the Huskers, and the girls grow up and want to play volleyball for the Huskers. So that's
volleyball's fun.
Yeah.
And
They're good.
99.9% of them don't do any of that, but they try. They have a dream.
BSS, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Brandon, what's up?
Jared Milky Way.
Yeah, I always see Jared Milky Way on all your streams.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, he's a good dude. Chemical Sport, too. How's it going, man? And Uzi Lou Garage.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. Well, I'm pretty sure actually everyone in the stream is good, solid people.
Steven is in here. Very nice.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, yeah, and Brad's Workbench is in here.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
He's got an icon bug up his ass.
I mean, I bet Brad would love Icon if Harbor Freight sent him an Icon toolbox. Let's just put that out there.
I know Brad a little bit, and I honestly don't know if that would be true with him.
Oh, you'd complain about that too?
He probably would.
I mean, I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, everybody's seen my garage. They know that I don't have any room for anything in it. And anything would require me to do more work.
That's
like a lot more work.
You could always leave it outside. Really test it out.
Yeah, like Junk from Work when he did the socket testing. Oh man. Yeah, and then he showed like the whole picture of like the socket tray and then that one large socket that was like all rusted on the side of it.
That was it. That was a cool video though. He's pretty creative kid up there. But I guess if you live in Canada though, what else do you have?
Hockey?
Yeah, he doesn't like hockey.
Yeah. Does he like hockey? I don't know.
No. I guess there's no like pro teams near him, so
then he really has nothing. Then it's almost like Nebraska.
Yeah, it's like you have your mind and a pretty nice scenery.
Sounds like he's got soldering. He's got that down.
He would go for a world record or something.
Yeah, Guinness Book of World Record. Like he invented that niche. Like that is a niche that I feel like he can exploit really, really well. I don't feel like anybody does that in the sense that he's doing it.
I've never seen a live solder off until him and Simple Electronics did it.
Let's see. So Budget Tool said Brad wouldn't sell out on YouTube for views. Are you really selling out if you get something for free and talk about it?
But Budget Tools is he's a troll. He's a good one though. I like him.
No, but think about it. Did WorkPro send you anything for free?
Not WorkPro, no.
No? I thought they did.
They do. No, they do have a
WorkPro sent Junk from Work something for free, and then they won't send him anything more.
Yeah, the shipping. I do talk to WorkPro to give them my opinion on things. But they do have a flashlight company. It's called Everbright, and they sent me 2 to test out. Those are 2 things that I got for free. But it's not like actually Work Pro. It's just like another company or whatever.
So I can't remember, how much was your banner that you have for Work Pro back there?
That was free too.
Oh, see, mine was $20. They sell those, just like they sell shirts.
But if you think about it, that's free advertising for them.
If you think about it, Kuhn Trucking gave me this, but I actually like Kuhn Trucking. He's awesome, does great reviews. Literally the tool truck comes to him, but Tecton sells their stuff as well. Well, that's because he has a facility that I'm like 99% sure the last time I talked to him, like the Snap-on guy, he is the drop-off facility for them and stores some of their boxes and things like that. So it's not like the Snap-on truck isn't going to come to him, because they literally like lease some of his space.
Justin Dow's in the house here.
Hey, what's up, Justin?
So what's up? Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really care what people review. It's all free information for us, right?
Right.
So that's not the issue. But sometimes, like, I think certain things flood YouTube sometimes, but you can choose not to watch it or watch it.
I agree with you.
And I think some people really have a hard time, making that judgment call.
I think at the end of the day, somebody or everybody just likes something to bitch about. And I think if it isn't one thing, it's going to be something else. And if it's not on YouTube, then it's somewhere else.
Right.
That's just my 2 cents about it. Because, if I'm not doing a review and my wife's happy and my kids are happy, then something's probably got to be messed up at work. And if it's not there, then everything's great and I'm driving home and somebody rear ends me. That's just my luck. That's how it works out.
Right.
Because, life can never be perfect. Somebody's always got to screw something up.
Yeah, and, another thing too, like, people can grow their channels how they want to. They can that's why you have channels. You can put what you want on your own channel.
Well, if I can add my 2 cents.
Absolutely.
I'm still here. I didn't leave. I did pull the fly, just so you know.
Nice.
I think we live in a culture where people get mad at other people for having different opinions. And is there another one?
Yeah. No.
And I think people on YouTube forget that you don't have to watch other people's channels, and you don't have to follow them. You don't have to subscribe. And if they pop up on your suggested playlist, you also don't have to click on it. So people that are, troll you guys and hate on you, then they clearly are lacking certain things in their life that they feel like they have to be negative and not like your opinions on tools, or I don't know. That's all you guys. I don't know what else you guys talk about besides tools, but
all right. So Budget Tools asked, what would a 3/8 shallow and deep SAE and metric would say an 8-inch ratchet cost from Harbor Freight, branded as Icon? So your cost or cost them, meaning like the cost to manufacture it and mark it up, because I won't have that. But I think if I recall the pricing, we'll just say like a 12-piece set or an 11-piece set, 8 to 19 is like $34.99 maybe for shallow and $39.99. So $35 for the shallow and $40 for the deep. And then the ratchets might be $34.99 as well, give or take. But that's going to be more than the Pittsburgh Professional. But at the same time, they're not pitching it to be Pittsburgh Professional. They're pitching it to be, comparative to a tool truck brand. So you have to figure that a Snap-on ratchet's going to cost you $115 to $145, give or take. But at the same time, you can go to Home Depot and pick up a Husky ratchet. You can go to Walmart and pick up a Stanley. There's so many different opinions out there that you can pick. You got to figure out which one's better, and that's what YouTube might be for, and it might not be for. That's what your friends are for, and that's what your grandma's for. Your mom's there to cry. Or You know?
And you can cry too. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, you can cry too. Real men cry.
Yep, everyone's allowed to.
So.
I do think another thing too with these icons is the price point, which isn't. I don't think they're priced bad. Like they're affordable tools. But then I think people hear that being compared to Snap-on, they're what $10 more than Pittsburgh Pro, and I think that confuses people's brains.
Yeah, but I mean, once you get a chance to look at them side by side, a socket's a socket. I mean, if it does the job, doesn't round off your fastener, maybe rounds you off every now and then, whatever's gonna, gives you a chrome job. I don't care what it is, as long as you don't get chrome in your hands. That's really the most important part.
Yes, it is.
I mean, some people make their living with the Pittsburgh Pro stuff. Those are the people that don't have time to put anything on YouTube about it because they're too knee deep in their work.
Yeah.
That their stuff works just fine for them. Like literally, my Harbor Freight has probably 15 different automotive shops within 2 blocks of it. And I literally went to each one of them and they're like, holy balls. I cannot believe that looks just like Snap-on. And they're like, we're going to have to walk over and then we're going to maybe try some out. Now there's another shop that actually was like, we're happy with what we have. And I'm like, well, that's great. I'm not trying to sell you anything. They're like, we like the stuff that we get from Harbor Freight and we don't like some of the stuff that we get from Harbor Freight. And if it's going to save us time, that's really what they were all about. They didn't care what it cost. They'd buy whatever from whomever if in the long run it was going to make them more efficient. And I think that's what some people forget about a tool is what time can you save, because time is money.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever seen Rigid in Milwaukee. They make like instead of soldering, you can just clamp the copper fittings for water pipes and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So and like the Rigid one's like $5,000-$6,000. Milwaukee makes a 12-volt one. I think it's about $2,000 with all the attachments. Soldering copper is very inexpensive, but if you're a plumber though, I can see why old guys still solder. But the other thing, get shit done real quick too.
Oh yeah, yeah. When you go to PEX or even the Shark Bites, and you're just like done. I mean, so think about it as a new guy coming in. How long? Say you spend 3 to 4 hours. You cut your copper. You put all your joints together. You go through and you solder everything. How petrified are you, or the first time that you're going to put pressure under that line?
Me personally, I'm all right. I actually have never used PEX. I've used Shark Bites and stuff, but where I live, they like to just keep putting copper in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, one's quick, one's dirty, one's tried and true. And I'll tell you, at the end of the day, if I really wanted something for the next 50 to 80 years, I would probably say copper and solder it. If it was my own new house that I would ever be able to afford and build new construction, I would want them to put in copper and I'd want them to solder it. But then they would tell me, yes, Chris, that is going to be 3 times more expensive than if we just put in PEX and we're done within 24 hours. Be like, all right, put in PEX.
The nice thing about PEX too, though, is like it's kind of like fishing through walls. So if it does break, it's a pretty simple fix.
But it shouldn't break as well. I mean,
no, it shouldn't. But there's people that run them in walls and stuff, and then some homeowner puts a 5-inch screw.
Oh well, yeah,
to hang a picture, and it goes right through it. So I mean,
but you would think that it might pierce copper too, depending on.
Oh, for sure, that does happen.
They're working on it. Looks like we had Zaphael join us. We got toolbox footage, tools and trash, and let's see. Brad said PEX is amazing. Copper leaches onto the water. Yeah, but I mean.
But I also hear like copper has like actual cleaning, like a built-in purifier as opposed to PEX.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just partial to it, but I can tell you, like, good old cast iron pipes, I don't like the flavor of the water, but the copper just, I don't know. Nebraska water and copper pipes, that's some good stuff.
I mean, I drink out of my hose spigot sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Nice, good cold hose water.
Yeah, like the taste of that is like the best taste. That and drinking from the creek, but
Our kids drink from the hose all the time, and then it's always like running. They don't
they
know how
just
to,
leave it on.
well, they don't know how to turn it off all the way. They can turn it on.
So he said creek. What do you think of that? Because I think
He
You call it a crick?
Oh my gosh, I did not grow up in Nebraska. They call what? We call it scooping the snow. Never heard of that. It's called shoveling. It's a creek, not a crick. You guys said, oh, you say roots wrong. Like,
Roots.
yeah, that's wrong. Roots.
you're a math teacher. Stop. You're not an English major.
God, oh, that bothered me so much when other teachers, they'd be like, the square root. Square root.
Square root.
Yeah, Nebraska people, they have some lingo wrong.
I get a lot of crap because everyone here says crick, and I say creek. I can't even force myself to say crick.
No.
I said pop, and somebody's like, or soda.
Soda.
And it's like, no, it's always been pop.
Pop, yeah.
If you say soda pop, no one can call you out for that.
No.
And then I went totally like out there in the blue and started just calling it high fructose corn syrup, and everybody's like, what? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're gonna make fun of that too.
Well, if you were in Atlanta, you would just call it Coke. What kind of Coke do you want?
Every pop is just called Coke.
Well, yeah, because Coke's headquarters is in Atlanta, so basically, like, you can't find Pepsi anywhere.
I think they're confusing it with the white stuff.
I'm not, but
Is that right? Is that Coke? Is that, I don't even know my drugs.
Maybe here in Nebraska, but in Atlanta, what kind of Coke do you want?
Budget tools. There will be no drunk Neil tonight because I'm on H2O here. See,
Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick. I can do live sober.
We know you can.
Yeah, I've done one before with you, and this is probably like my fourth or fifth one.
Yeah, we kept it classy when it was you.
Maybe
me,
that'll just be my
when it was
husband,
you,
then.
me, Brad, and Junk. Yeah, I can't. I need a new one. That one's out.
In fact, the one that I should have been drunk for was that going down the rabbit holes of conspiracy theories, and I didn't. I was on call.
Yeah.
So
That's right, and you had to ditch us out. I remember that. I think I dipped out early on that one. That was you and 4 AM Caper.
Yeah, and Duct Tape Tech.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
dude, shout out to Tools and Trashes. Are you from Nebraska, Tools and Trash?
Yeah, in Nebraska here, Northeast.
Hey.
You know what? His
Cool.
channel is kind of. He does pliers. He has an awesome channel.
Cool.
It's good stuff. But because you like ratchets and sockets and stuff, and he likes pliers and wrenches, and he's from Northeast Nebraska.
We're just on the exact opposite side of town.
See, Jared Milky Way says Neil's not getting wasted. I'm out of here.
Oh, man.
I knew people only showed up to watch me get drunk, but that's all right. So,
All right.
we went over with so you covered all the warranty stuff for Icon?
Yeah. The sockets are going to do that in store now. They still have to communicate that out to all the stores, but yeah, that's pretty much the biggest change, because initially they were saying by mail, or phone in support.
Now, do the people at your Harbor Freight know what you do with the tools?
Yeah, completely. 100% honest. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to break this. They're like, you know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we saw you. Yeah, we watched that. And the store manager, like, literally is like under 3 blocks from my house.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, so I'll literally go there, and you know, if he's in, we'll shoot the shit for a little bit, and then he's like, I gotta go home, and be like, all right, well, I gotta see if I can beat you home.
He usually comes home telling a story. Like, he usually helps people find stuff while he's there. He needs to get a part-time job.
Yeah.
I've asked him, I said, do you want a part-time job just for fun? You can go work at Harbor Freight and like help people find stuff, give them advice on which socket, wrench, I don't know, tool to buy.
Yeah, they usually think, so you don't ever wear blue to Harbor Freight. You try not to wear a hat. And for some reason, if you have any camera or like, you know, a mic on you, they think it's one of their walkies. It's like going to Target and wearing a red shirt and khaki pants. You just don't do it.
Actually, I'll make a video of that. I'll see how many people come up to me.
Going to Target?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And have like a earbud or something.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yep. Yep. I've done that many times, and I'm like, damn it, don't go to Target with a red shirt and khaki pants. Although I think
they got a little bit lax on their pant guideline, because I think they can wear jeans now.
Yeah.
And since they do a lot of that online order, that you know, you can park and they bring your order out to you. A lot of the employees are wearing different colored shirts now too. Black.
Is that Target does that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah. But it would still be a fun experiment to go on or dress up, wear like a fake name tag with your YouTube channel. People come up to you and they're like, hey, can you help me find this? Be like, no, but you can check out my YouTube channel.
That would be good free advertising.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Just give me some credit, you know, in your description. My idea. But
Target, now that's a store with professional tools. I actually I don't know if you ever looked at the Target tool section. It is so overpriced. It's like $20 for a Stanley tape measure.
It's bad. I can't remember. I think the Den of Tools did a walkthrough of the tool section once. Probably did like 30,000 views or something like that. Or maybe if you would have put like Target and Starbucks and a couple other things in the subject line, you probably could have done 250,000 people.
It's like the Black & Decker drill's like it's like $75 for the same one that sells for $40 at Walmart.
Yep.
It's probably because they don't think real mechanics or tool users are going to buy it. They know it's going to be moms like me that are walking through Target. We just go in every aisle just to see what they have. And it's like, oh, a tool. Okay, I'll buy this. I'll get 5% off on my red card. This is a great deal. They know not to lower the price.
Oh,
they want to get the ladies.
My wife knows not to buy tools.
Oh, no, I don't buy
I'll
them.
either really, really be very excited for what she picked up, or I'll be like, oh, you overpaid on that shit.
In fact, when it's his birthday or if it's Father's Day or anniversary, I don't buy him tools.
I've already bought them.
He's already purchased them. So like he doesn't wait to buy things so that I can get them. They're already in his garage or his tool chest. So I have to like get really creative and buy things I think he'll like, or like an experience, like taking him out somewhere. He's very hard to shop for.
I'll tell you, you need to talk to Neil, because the shirt selection he has for his graphic tees with sayings on them, whether they're tool related or whatnot. I mean, he's got a great section. I mean, look I'm wearing a blank ringer tee. I mean, nothing. This is plain. Neil's got rocking out with his rooster there.
Well, I will say most of them were bought from YouTube channels.
Oh, there you go.
So I try to promote when I can.
That's good.
Yeah, it's definitely makes it fun. They're
shopping local, but on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, exactly. In the tool community.
There you go. That's
Well, let's see. Steven was saying that he likes how clean Target is. And then Chemical Spore said you pay more for shorter lines. Now, that I don't agree with. The lines, I think they've reduced the amount that you actually get physical checkers. And then you get stuck with the one person that monitors the 4 automated self-checkout. And they're like 16 years old, and
Yep.
everybody wants to buy alcohol. And then you're just screwed.
Yeah, you pay more so that you can check out your own tools.
Well, Budget Tool says Neil's going to Target looking like Jake from State Farm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hidden camera video would be iconic.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. When's the last time? Let's see. Budget Tools did a video. I think he was talking about. Was it the Icon Toolbox? About.
I don't know. He's a huge Harbor Freight shill though.
I know.
He banked off of Harbor Freight hard.
Well, it was that, and I think Gear Wrench. I think he really, really liked Gear Wrench whooping him USA ass or something like that.
Well, I will say Budget Tools did have a nice channel. He's a semi-retired YouTuber. I don't know what that means, but that's what he told me once. So
he's just living the life. He's just got a fat check rolling in.
He probably lives down in Mexico and got like 500 acres and a bunch of cocaine.
That's what happens when you start before everybody else. You get in while the getting's good. Cash cow raking it in.
Like I'm putting videos. I mean, I'm so new to YouTube. I'm probably like literally, because I was telling people last night, like YouTube for me up until a year ago is like someone would send you something, you go look at it, laugh, funny, and then walk away. And then like I finally started realizing, I was like, people have channels on here. There's a bunch of good content. And I got into it pretty deep.
Let's see, Josh Albertson, thanks for joining. What's up?
What's going on there, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're relatively new. Hell, I'm relatively new. I mean, you know, just because I signed up many, many years ago doesn't mean that I was putting out content. I was consuming it like a wild hog, but I mean, before I was throwing out stuff, that was a long time. That wasn't that long ago.
Well, yeah, I forget when it says I joined. It was years ago, but I don't even remember joining. I think it was to watch something, or I don't know.
Yeah, Budget Tools is the OG torque adapter. And then I took it to step up of, you know, is mine really accurate? Now, I can't vouch for anybody else's because, as we all know, every device and every tool is just a little bit different. I can tell you that probably within a year, I'll have to go, well, now about 9 months, I'll have to go get mine calibrated again, or at least recertified to validate that I'm within spec.
Yeah, you had like scientists look at it and stuff.
Yeah, I went to the local calibration facility. I mean, that was an absolute blast. I mean, just think of a place that you would want to go, or even not really want to go, but that you're just like, wow, I could never do that, or I'd never get in there. I simply just called them up on the phone and be like, hey, I got some devices, and I think it's really cool, and I'd love to learn more about it. And they were just like nerding out so hard. They were like, somebody actually likes this stuff, and I'm like, yay!
Are they like? I feel like it'd be like a very high stress job.
No, they were so low key. I feel like they just followed a process. They followed a book, and they're like, you know what? It either is intolerant or it's out. And if it's out, we try to fix it. If we can't, we say it's fucked, and now you got to go fix it. Now you got to go buy a new one. I mean, I kid you not. When I was there, I'm the only second Icon device that they had. The other one was a 3/8 inch, and it was out of tolerance, and it hadn't even been used yet. So when I saw the real tool, so like, you know, I watch stuff online too, just like everybody else. And the Real Tool Reveal puts out like some great comparison. And I'm like, oh my God, that thing's amazing. Look at those numbers. And then I got the torque wrench and I put it on the Quinn digital torque meter. And it was like, okay, either the Quinn is totally fucked, or the Icon is screwed up, or they're both shit and they're both off and I don't get it. And when I went there, the Icon 1/2 inch was within spec, but really, really low and out of spec on the 250. But the Quinn Digital was within a third of a pound of a $50,000 plus calibration machine. And it was like, holy crap, that $25 device right now is reading what a $50,000 machine costs. And it was just unbelievable. So
that's crazy to think about that.
Yep. So it was super interesting. Like I've even done stuff, but like I don't think anybody would find it interesting where you stick the one torque meter on top of the other torque meter, and then you use a torque wrench and you see what the torque loss is between each one of them, and then you get down to math and you're like, yeah, nobody cares about that.
That's when you're like, I gotta go. Did you see? I know you have the Quinn and the Nico.
Yep.
Do you see AC Delco has one on Amazon for like $45?
Yeah, I did. They make a couple different ones, but the biggest thing is it didn't go up to 740 foot-pounds, or if it did, it was outrageously priced. I mean, it really came down to finances on what was going to be the best bang for my buck. And then, I did a couple videos here or there, and it's like, well, I don't even know if this is really accurate. So it's like, okay, well, it didn't matter how much I would spend. It's like, I got to get something validated if it's truly accurate. And I just lucked out in that sense.
Now, Brad's Workbench says, what do they use to calibrate the calibration machine?
Yeah. So they have cells that basically are about, I think they're about $3,000 a piece or more for the actual cell that does and gets calibrated, and they basically send that off to the National Institute for Standards and Technology, and then they go through on their machines and calibrate it based on their specifications. So who calibrates their machines, I couldn't tell you, but basically their machines get calibrated by what everybody sets as the standard through somebody else. It's kind of like a round robin. It's like you check me and I check you and somebody checks you and we all check each other. So at the end of the day, we're either all out of spec by a little bit or we're all in.
Makes sense. So we're close enough.
Yeah, it's all an Area 51 thing, Budget Tool says. And I agree. It's, it's smoke and mirrors.
What's Area 51?
Uh-oh. We're going to get censored now.
I don't know. People are storming it. Or did that die off?
I think that happened. There was 100 people that showed up and 2 got arrested. So.
Oh, really?
That's it?
There was a guy, a YouTuber, and I guess he has like a couple thousand subscribers. I read this on a news article. But he went up there for free publicity.
And how'd that work out for him?
I mean, there's only 100 people there. I guess he did get an article written up, so
he got 100 subscribers.
He probably got like 500 unsubscribers.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm pretty sure your new guys think everything needs to be torqued. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Actually, I mean, on some of your bigger equipment out there, I can't remember. I know there were some lug nuts. I can't remember if they were Bus or somewhere else that they had to torque those to 600 foot-pounds. You start working on some of the heavy machinery, whether it be some of the cat machinery or your bulldozers, your graders, and things like that. There's some high-end torque that you have to do on there. I mean, my friend's got a race car that he does some of the wheel hubs to 300 foot-pounds, and he doesn't actually have a meter for that. He just knows that
if you push a certain.
So he's like, my Milwaukee gun says it's supposed to do this, and so I just know when I go for 8 seconds it's supposed to be good or something like that. I'm like, okay, so you're going off the numbers that they said, but have you ever tested those numbers? He's like, well, no, because when I was at the track, I like had somebody else's torque wrench that went up enough, and I just validated it after I ran it with the gun for 8 seconds, and I'm like, so yeah. So I was like, okay, so you basically bet your life on your $300 Milwaukee. All right, sounds good.
It's like if you change tires though, and you don't have a torque wrench, people tell you that, if you just tighten it up with a ratchet or whatever breaker bar, that should be 100 foot-pounds. and like I did do that for like a long time, and then I was like, well, why don't I just buy a torque ratchet? It's just going to be so much easier.
Yeah, so like this one here, this is like, I don't know, 26 inches long or something like that. Yeah, it's really easy to get 100 foot-pounds in a hurry on that thing. Actually, it's really easy to get about 185 foot-pounds on that when you should.
I was talking more like this. I mean,
oh yeah, okay. So that's really hard to get 90 foot-pounds on by hand, I'll tell you.
This one is a HDX.
Is it a 1/2 inch?
Yes, it is. That is a 1/2 inch.
I just learned what they all meant.
No, she's
just recently.
She's just lying.
I really did just learn.
She knows.
Did not know. It's based on this thing here. Is how you know. I asked him the other day, I'm like, how do you know that something's like a 1/4 inch or a 3? I don't even remember the numbers now.
They should just put it on the ratchet, right?
Like, how do you know? I'm like, well, I think it started with like, why do you need the different? Like, why do you need all these things? Because I don't understand. But it's because, what is it?
So we buy more stuff.
Well, yeah, part of that. Yeah, so she like, one day she was like questioning me. She's like, why do you have 5 of the same thing?
They look exactly the same.
I'm like, but they're not the same thing. I'm like, so here's an example. I'm working, I'm changing out like a control arm. And I'm like, so that bolt, and that bolt, they're all the same size. So that's why I have 3 of them. She's like, yeah, but you can only use 2 at a time. I'm like, yeah, but that's what I got a kid for, to start working on that one while I'm working on this one. We tag team it, and we get done twice as fast.
I will say this. It did help me understand why you needed to buy so many icon things. However,
yes,
you have a lot of the same things, but they're just different brands make them.
Yeah,
I still don't understand, but
so Budget Tools is right there. 4 Ugga-Duggas on the impact. Yep, that is pretty much. He was like 8 Ugga-Duggas, and he's like, yep, I'm good. Yeah, sometimes my terminology gets a little off, but yeah, that's a good one.
Well, out there in another, so I had these sitting upstairs, and my mom, she's like, oh, those are nice. I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you need 2 of them? Why don't you give one away? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, don't tell me to give away my tools. Like, it comes in a set. I'm like, who the fuck would I give one of those to? And it's just like, I don't know.
I can see the need for more than even 2 of those.
Yeah.
Depending on the project you're using.
I have a whole wall full of them.
So my wife, she probably won't remember it, but she's like, why do you need all those clamps? And the second one of our kids like started cracking one of the cabinet doors, and I went to glue it and, put a clamp one way and then the other way. She's like, oh, I get it.
Well, I didn't know. I needed to be educated on their like use. Like, if I don't know the function of something, then it's hard to understand, well, why would you need more than one? You just got to show people what they're used for. Otherwise, it's just.
Or just trust us every once in a while.
No, there can be no trust.
Yeah, when you see tools or a new tool and you go, what's that for? Why do you need that? Trust me, it will come into play.
It's not that, I will say this, joking aside, I do believe you think you need your tools.
No, it's a fact.
I don't, because I can just buy new ones, right?
But I've never used tools, so to me, it's still an unknown.
Oh my God, there's another quad. Get it. Oh, thank you.
Well, now Harbor Freight has the icon.
No. My Harbor Freight does not have any icon because this a-hole bought it all.
Well, when they come out with their next lineup above icon, which is going to be called Iconic.
Oh, yep. I will buy that too, so that I can piss people off and buy it before they can buy it, and then make a bunch of YouTube videos so that I can literally pay for all of the things that I bought. And, you know, for me, it's a wash. But yeah, I mean, and I'll leak all the prices with the receipt that I used to purchase. And then everybody will be pissed off because it'll be Iconic Pricegate 2.0.
I actually, so like, I did have some people, they're like, you gotta make a video on like on this icon stuff, like your feelings about it. And it's a 20-minute video. I'm just taking apart my ratchets and like lubing them up and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Just don't watch the videos if you don't want to see it. I mean,
did the management at Harbor Freight get fired? No. I mean,
I was just asking him the other day.
Yeah, because
if they got in trouble for selling you.
So it was funny. My store manager, he was like, so I came back like another day and I was like, yep, Steve, I want this, this, and this. And he's like, I don't know if I can sell it to you. He's like, I'm probably going to get in trouble. I'm like, you're not going to get in trouble. I mean, seriously.
That's when you pull the Justin down and go, all right, I'll take my business to Tecaton.
and so then he's like, Chris, we're really busy. And I'm like, Steve, it's in the back. Do you want me to just go back there when you're not looking? And he's like, oh, fine. And then he like escorted me back there. And he's like, what are the part numbers? Do you know them? And I'm like, hell yeah. I pulled out my freaking Excel spreadsheet of all the stuff that I made. And, you know, so here's the funny thing. So I knew nothing other than some of the icon stuff that actually somebody from Garage Journal posted back in November and December of last year. And then I kind of knew what I wanted to look at, but I didn't know any part numbers. So the funny thing is that Redemption Garage. So I zoomed in on his videos and scoped out all the part numbers for the ratchets that he had. And so then I started getting 2 of the numbers. And then I went to the Harbor Freight store and basically I was like, hey, can you tell me if you have this item in stock? They're like, yeah, what's the SKU number? And they looked it up and then they told me the price. And I was like, oh, pricing's in the system. And so then I started doing 1 digit up and 1 digit down and then like 1,000 digits across to see like if I could get different part numbers because they had pictures on it. And this is like literally before anything showed up in my store. And I had all that information to myself and I was super excited. I was like, I can't tell anybody because like, this is like, you know, I'd be like leaking information. And so, you know, I was like, well, I wonder if the price has changed at all. Well, then, you know, so like a week later or 2 days later, I did it again. And they're like, yeah, it says we got 2 in stock. And I'm like, what? You got it in stock? No, it had came in on that truck that night. So that's when I called my wife and I'm like, I'm going to be late. And
no, there wasn't even a call. There wasn't even time for that. I'm at Harbor Freight. What did you say? Oh, it was really funny. It was like, they just got a new truck. It's the mother load or something. He's like, I don't know when I'm going to be home. And I was like, all right, guys, Daddy's working late tonight. We're going to eat dinner without him. And I didn't understand because I don't know. He probably told me about the icon tool thing, but I realized it was a big deal when he came home and he had so much. And in one of your live streams, we joked, like I literally said to him, I go, okay, but like, what's going back? Like, how much are you really keeping? And he was like, well, all of it. And I'm like, what? You really need all of it? And then that's probably how the conversation got started, where I'm like, why do you really need all these? But then they're different sizes, so that's why you need multiple ones. But yeah, it was a fun night for you.
Yeah, so I bought all that stuff, and then we went live that night for like 2.5 hours. I pulled a maintenance man, and just like, you know, we're gonna go all out. And
I talked with you that night.
Yeah.
Before you hopped on.
Yep. I wish I would have had all the experience that you've had with all of your multiple live streams. Oh my gosh, I was so beat the next day. I don't even know how I managed to work. I mean, it was like full adrenaline.
You were still riding that icon adrenaline.
Yep. And then my wife, you should have seen. So she was the one that wrote on the paper. She's like, you know, in your live stream and say something like iconic or something like that. And then like, she's like, you idiot, you didn't say iconic. And then I used the word too much the next day in another video.
By too much is like what, 3 times?
Four. Somebody was like, you said the word iconic 3 times.
The trolls came out to play.
And I'm like, obviously you don't know how to count. I'm like, honey, what? How do I even? They're like, she's like, don't respond, and I'm like, you're wrong. They
The guy,
8 times. It's only 4.
It's okay. The troll.
the guys who said that probably heard it one time and turned the video off, and then just were like, "My God, you said iconic."
They were already mad that he had the tools and they couldn't get their hands on it, so they were searching for something to dislike. That's my opinion.
Making good content with those tools, though.
Yeah, I mean that's really so. I don't think
matters, right?
Yeah, that's all that really mattered to me is that I have kids. I have going to be a 15-year-old, so he's going to be needing a vehicle, and I sure as heck don't want to share all my stuff with him. While I borrowed my dad's stuff, I know how that ended up for him. So, while I'm going to use a lot of it, I have kids that will get a chance to use them too, and that way it's just easier at the end of the day. If they want something, here, I already have a set. You go use this. You figure it out.
Just so you know, he tells me all the time that he has to keep buying tools because he needs at least 5 sets of everything, because when he dies one day, he doesn't want his kids to fight over the tools. So he's just going to have 5 sets of everything.
That's kind of how I feel, but I only have 2 kids right now, so.
I mean, that's why you got Milwaukee and Ryobi.
Have another baby, and then you have another reason to tell your wife that you need more sets of tools. There you go.
Definitely might be in the cards.
or you just say, I'm good with 2 tools and I'm good with 2 kids. And how would you do all your epic live streams if you had another one on the way?
I just tell my kids I'm going to work.
You could bring the baby on and hold the baby while your wife could take a nap, and baby could be in the background holding the tool.
Yeah. Well, that's the best when they're babies because they can't move. You set them down and do what you got to do.
Yeah, when they're little like that, they can sleep through anything.
Yeah, and then once they start walking, it's all over from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Zaphael, I mean, in no terms did I say these were kids' tools. I said the kids, and they could be considered young adults, might get a chance to use them. It's not like we're talking about Walmart tools here, and don't take that in the wrong way, because Walmart has some decent stuff every now and then. You really have to pick over what's going to work for you. But at the same time, Harbor Freight's got a ton of good stuff. They have a ton of terrible stuff too, just as well as Milwaukee and Snap-on have a bunch of good stuff. They have a bunch of stuff that's terrible as well.
Also, I don't think he quite heard me. He doesn't plan on letting them have them until he's gone, like in the grave. Like, they're his tools.
Oh yeah, they're still all my tools.
Kids get to borrow them, so they're definitely not kids' tools. They're Chris's tools, and his kids don't get to have them until you either want to part with them or they're not yours anymore.
Or they truly need them. So, like, my daughter even went to college, and I thought about giving her a set of my older Stanley stuff. But it's like, no, those are my tools. And if you really have a problem, you'll just call me, and then I'll take enough stuff to go fix your stuff and then be on your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you can, like, I don't know. Or like if your son like swaps out an engine on a car and like you go over and you're like, I'm proud of you. Here's a socket set.
Yep. Kind of got to work for it. You don't give them anything because then they don't care. There's no pride. It's nothing to them. They got to earn it. They got to work for it. Just giving them the opportunity. So it's like my first car, Neil, I don't know what your first car was, but my parents were like, we'll give you $500. So my first car was $500. I didn't go a penny over, because anything I went over, I wouldn't have any money to fix it. So If I bought a $1,000 car and I spent my $500, I might not have a running car. So I looked at it from the sense of, okay, well, my budget is $500, and anything else is going to go to repair it and or gas or insurance and stuff like that. And that's pretty much, I needed a new pair of spark plug wires and, basically a new distributor cap and a couple other things at that point in time, back in the early or late 80s. And we were good to go. Basically had a $1,500 car after that.
What kind of car was it?
It was a 87 Pontiac Sunbird. It was the worst thing in the entire world, but for $500, it worked out well.
It's better than the 97 Pontiac Sunfire.
Had one of those too.
Did you?
I did.
I had a few friends that beat the shit out of some of those, and they kept running. I mean,
It was basically the internals were just like some of the Cavaliers at the time, and you either got a really good one or you got a lemon, and it just was terrible.
mine was my first car my uncle gave me, and it was a 1990 Lincoln Town car.
That's a big one.
And I had to add oil, power steering fluid every single day. But I got a year out of it, and I worked that whole summer, and then I was able to buy a truck. But like the driver's side window stopped working, so he just put a screw in it, and you couldn't, no air conditioner, no nothing, but it ran really nice.
Well, that's important. We had I think a 92 Lincoln Continental that we kept burning map sensors on that thing. And then the airbags were just crap on it, and it was terrible. But then we had a bunch of cars. We had a Mazda B2000 pickup. We had
I had a B4000. That's what I bought with my money.
We had like, was your box rusty on it?
No, mine was a 94. It's actually a pretty clean truck. I mean, it was like a work truck for a guy, but he bought it towards the end of his career, so like it had 80,000 miles on it, and yeah, no issues on it at all.
It's not too bad. Yeah, I can't remember. I think ours was like an 88 or something like that, and like literally all of them had rust over the fenders, and just it was terrible. But we made it work. Didn't matter. Didn't affect the way it ran.
Yeah, I mean,
it was ugly, but it got from point A to point B.
Those older, I know it's just a Ford Ranger. Well, the older Mazda, like the B2000, you said.
Mm-hmm.
I like those, and same with like the Nissan pickup.
Yeah, yep, those are pretty cool. Nice. My favorite car, though, probably that I got for the best price was 87 Z 300Z.
Oh yeah,
with T-tops. That was probably my favorite car. And then my second favorite was probably my and I don't know why it was a Nissan, but it was an 89 240SX. Really liked that car too. I don't know what it was. I really like some of those Nissans of that.
Was that it was a sports car, right?
Yeah, they were both two doors.
Wasn't the 89? It was kind of looked like the Mitsubishi 3000 GT.
Yeah, a little bit. They both have pop-up lights.
Yeah, I liked both of those vehicles when I was younger.
The 3000 GT was more like the Dodge Stealth, though, so that one would have had a V6 in it, where the SX was just a straight 4. So it wasn't the same in that sense. But
no, but I meant like the stylings were kind of.
They were both rounder bodies. I mean,
they had curves.
You couldn't compare the 3000 GT to really anything in my mind other than a Dodge Stealth at that time.
Did that Lincoln Continental run like shit until it was warmed up?
Yeah. Well, yours might have. I don't know. Ours did. Like I said, we were burning through map sensors on that thing like every 2 or 3 months.
My second car was working full time by then a Grand National, which came to me in parts.
Ooh, do we got 410 Auto Tech in the chat? What's up, brother?
What's going on, 410? Well, I think I gotta head off and head to bed before my wife finds out I left it.
All right. Well, you do what you got to do, brother.
I do appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for letting me hang out too.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Yeah. We'll have to do this again.
Sure thing, brother.
All right. Have a good night.
All righty, Neil. Take care.
See you guys all later.
See ya.
Appreciate everybody hanging out.